think those are apples. And the battery is once again going down alarmingly rapidly considering it's being charged, so who knows what's going to happen next. Oh, brother. Last time I talked about it, it didn't even go down that much. And I ended my stream. Was that the last stream I did? It was at 70-something% when I turned on my phone. Is it interesting to keep showing all these rabbits? Yeah, there's lots of rabbits all the time. I don't like zooming in. It's so annoying trying to zoom back out. Did it just snort at me and run away? What did I do? I'm literally just walking. You better not be snorting at me, bitch. For committing the crime of walking. That's not acceptable. I like the way this piece of shit camera does the close-ups. I think that's its strong point. Its strong point. Maybe because it's black and white. That helps a lot, probably. It looks a lot better in black and white in general. Wait, what am I saying? That's the whole thing. But even in color, I think the close-ups are still good. 63%. Okay, we're probably like fucked or something. I don't know what's happening right now. We're like fucked. We're completely fucked. This is very bad. Okay. My shoes are completely covered in dust at this point. They look so dirty. White sneakers on the... It's not even gravel. I feel like gravel isn't that thick. It's like big rocks. It doesn't even count as gravel. It's just rocks. It's just a road made of rocks. There's zero gravel. Or does it still count if it's like big rocks? If you put big rocks and call it a road, is it still considered gravel? Even though usually gravel is very small rocks. Asking the real questions as always. Guess the theme of today's new stickers. Weed. Hopefully you guessed weed. Thought it would be funny. Just a small rabbit here. That's slightly more interesting because it's very small. Look at that fucking blurry ass zoom, dude. Okay. So I was thinking about what I would say to the fuck off heckler. Right, back to, of course, what is this? The fourth installment? Oh god. I haven't been saying the installments every time. Which installment is this? This is the perhaps fourth installment of the Craig Simons show review. Maybe the third. One of those. Anyway, I talked all about the fuck off heckler leading to the fleeing incident number 2. Only from my experience and research. For me, it's fleeing incident number 2, just because I only know about those 2 fleeing incidents. There could be more, and I think very likely there are plenty more where that came from, because where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. Oh, they put a Bud Light bottle on top of the sewer grate. Isn't that just like the most beautiful decor? Like, humans really add to nature, don't they? They really innovate. Look at this beautiful innovation. Like, our human touch, you know, it's a glorious, wonderful thing. Oh, and a plastic bottle here, and a bunch of random litter as well. You can see we have a garbage bin right up there, but you know, who needs a garbage bin when you can just throw it directly into the field? Am I right, folks? And here's my decor. No automatic zoom, unfortunate. I didn't think that one through. But then it doesn't like I don't know, I feel like the focus, maybe I'm wrong. Let me try back to autofocus. There. It's the McDonald's espresso cup. Rare sighting. For some reason, I haven't been receiving these anywhere else. Anywhere I've been getting, well, actually, where have I been getting espresso? I don't frequently buy espresso at McDonald's, but it's a cute little cup. It has a brown lid, notably, which is different from the other coffee lids are all white. And of course, I hate the color white. It's my least favorite color. And I think it looks very ugly, especially because it doesn't match the brown cup. The brown, I feel, is a nice, classy cafe-style color. So I think that looks nice. I like the brown. It's a nice warm color. It's a coffee color. It makes sense. But then you have this hideous stark white plastic lid, which, by the way, is no longer recyclable. It's recycle number 6. It's a recycle number 6. It used to be number 5. I swear to God, don't gaslight me, McDonald's. It used to be number 5. Number 5 plastic lid is recyclable. I'm pretty sure they switched to number 6. Maybe I was just recycling number 6 falsely this whole time. I don't know. I feel like I wasn't. When I went to Montreal, interestingly, I'm pretty sure they gave me number 5 lids. So it's just an Ottawa thing. I don't know what these shitbags are doing here. But it's no longer recyclable, so there you have it. And it's a white plastic piece of shit lid. So I hate it. I think it doesn't go at all with the brown cup. I don't know what they're thinking with that design. But I hate it. And the espresso cup, having that nice brown lid that matches the cup properly, I think is great. But why only the espresso cup? Explain that logic. And explain why they don't give me espresso cups elsewhere. What are they doing? Don't tell me it's not Union Station. Union Station is the train station in Toronto. So it's not Union Station, it's Gare Centrale. Gare Centrale. Wow. I don't speak French much, clearly. Gare Centrale. Gare Centrale. It's very awkward to say. I hate that. Gare Centrale. Gare Centrale. There you go. That's what it is. And the Montreal Via Rail station that has a McDonald's built in. So the Montreal Via Rail station gives me those hideous, hideous, still, same white, ugly plastic cup lids. But they are, I think, recyclable. I think those are number 5, which is recyclable. But they give me a small coffee cup for my espresso. And I think this is like many McDonald's, like throughout my travels, not just there, but throughout my travels. I've been to quite a few different McDonald's, and I feel like most of them don't have espresso cups. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because explain to me why you have espresso on the menu and you don't have espresso cups, and you're wasting a bigger cup size for no reason. I mean, doesn't it cost more? Those cups, the fucking espresso cups are so tiny. Why don't you use the tiny cups for the espresso like you're supposed to? And isn't it kind of like bad for your McCafe bullshit branding where you fucking your McDonald's but you serve cappuccinos and cold brews? Doesn't it hurt your branding that most of your locations don't seem to even have actual espresso cups and you're just giving me those hideous white plastic lidded small coffee cups for my espresso, which, by the way, think about the extra airspace in the small coffee cup if you're just getting an espresso shot or two or a long espresso. Those are the only 3 options. But if you're getting espresso in a small coffee cup, there's so much extra space, and that means all that extra air is going to cool down your espresso so rapidly that after 1 single minute, your espresso's already cold. Why are they doing this to me? Why are they doing this to you? Why are they doing this to us? They have a lot to answer for. Moving back to the actual topic at hand. What would I say to the fuck off heckler? Right. Oh, by the way, I do recommend the espresso itself. If you don't mind having a fucking ugly small coffee cup holding your espresso and having to drink it literally immediately or it will already be cold, this espresso cup worked a lot better. I was walking around with it for a few minutes and it's still not cold, and it's not even warm outside. It's like kind of cool out right now. Like, I am cold. I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts and I am cold. I thought I would be warm. I thought there was a heat wave. I thought we had climate change with global warming abound and there's a heat wave and it's going to be warm. It's going to be humid and warm. So I should wear a t-shirt and shorts if I'm walking around outside, and I need to change out of my disgusting clothing that I'm wearing, that I've been wearing for days on end. Hot. Well, it's hot for like 1 to 2 minutes, so I don't think you need to worry too much about that. Like, if you drink an espresso immediately, you're not gonna burn your tongue in all likelihood. If you get an espresso at McDonald's and you immediately drink it, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Look how much liquid is in here, dude. Do you think there's like so much liquid in here that you could even burn yourself? Like, it will immediately cool down enough that you can drink it right away. I think it's a very cute cup though. I've collected a few cute little espresso cups just because I don't know, I think they make good decor. I just like looking at them. It's like a weird thing to collect, but I think they look very cute. And it's a relic, to be sure. When you look back in time at coffee cups, it's kind of fun. So why not espresso cups? And they're the smallest, so they're the easiest to store. So actually they make the best collector's items in every way. I think I'm onto something. We have raspberry bushes. I didn't even realize. Wow, I never look at anything closely, do I? I'm just racing around constantly. We have some raspberries over there growing. I can actually see some raspberries here. Wild raspberries, the good kind. Ooh, we got some nice, juicy red ones. You gotta wade in there? I don't trust it, man. You know what? I'm already extremely traumatized, you could say, by my poison plant experience with fuck knows what it is that I actually managed to touch that poisoned my entire body. And like every part of my body just is filled with poison now, and it was filled with so much poison earlier. And it's kind of still resurging at some points. It's really disturbing because I'm like, it's just like so irritated and inflamed that it just like, it reacts easily now. The parts that were poisoned before, that had blisters and rashes, they keep getting inflamed at times. Like sometimes it'll be more red and then it'll go back down and I think it's practically gone and then it'll get red again and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, my lips. I had rashes on my fucking lips. Well, I don't know if it's a rash. What is a rash? What is a blister? It was blisters. It was like really bad. I think my lips were infected somehow. It's fucking crazy. I had these horrible blisters on my lips. And it was incredibly ghastly. It looked like I had botched lip filler. It looked infected. For sure. And let's see. I guess it healed fairly quickly, but just yesterday I thought it was coming back. I had like a few red bumps growing again on my bottom lip and I got so worried that everything was starting all over again. But then it went back down and I'm just thinking, is this gonna keep happening forever now? It's just never gonna fully go away? Is that how powerful that poison plant shit is? Like, it'll just infect your body one time and never heal? Like, never go away? Always easily inflamed? Okay, now it's at 47%. I think we're actually completely fucked, but there's no way that I can do anything about it. What am I supposed to fucking do about it? So, maybe it's because it's plugged in the other way again. I swear, it didn't make a difference when I turned it, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Is it the cable? Do I just need to use a different cable? But I was using the same. Maybe I wasn't actually. Am I gaslighting myself? Have I been using 2 different cables? Because I do have another charging cable that I may have used at other times. No. But I don't know what the deal is. Like, what is this stupid fucking phone's problem? Why does sometimes the battery just drain even while it's charging and at other times it seems not to? I have no answers and no solutions. So, yeah, we'll see. It's at 46%. We'll see how long this bullshit goes on for. Christ. Anyway, don't, like, touch any plants or flowers unless you know they're not poisonous, would be my advice. Although I was walking around all my life without poisoning myself. And that one time I poisoned myself out of nowhere. I don't know how the fuck that happened. Like, how have I been living my entire life without poisoning myself? Seriously. I was picking wildflowers for years throughout my life, touching all kinds of plants, walking in the forest, touching the trees, touching the bushes, touching everything, lying down in the fucking grass and shit. How the fuck did I end up never poisoning myself until now? It's crazy, dude. It's like insidious. What happened? I better get on with it though, which I always say and then never do, because I already said I should get to the topic at hand multiple times, and I still haven't gotten to the topic at hand. But you know, that's just how it is. Okay, what else? Have I gotten everything out of the way now? There's not even anything important that I need to say. Like, why do I keep talking about this bullshit again with the fucking poison plant I touched? How? Just that one location happened to have poison and no other locations? That's an interesting sound. Huh, what kind of bird is that? Is that a bird? I never know. It all sounds like birds to me. I don't know what's a bird or not. So, I know what happened, and I'm just saying, I didn't know how bad it could get. It was incredibly bad. I'm just suffering tremendous. I'm so... Holy shit, the sun is right in my fucking eyes. There is no cloud cover. You know what pisses me the fuck off? The bullshit when I look at the fucking weather and it shows sun with cloud or even mostly cloudy, and then I go outside and the sun's in my eyes the entire time or almost the entire time, and I'm just wondering where the fuck the cloud is. Where's this cloud? Where's this supposed cloud action? When is the sun gonna be out of my eyes again? So it's a fucking lie, dude. Like, there is no such thing as mostly cloudy or sun with cloud. Like, most of the time the sun will be in your eyes if the sun's remotely out. If it's not completely overcast, expect the sun to be in your eyes like almost the whole time, if not the entire time. And you are being lied to when they claim otherwise. I don't know why they say that. It's not true. Now I have to fucking, oh my god, it's at 41%. I have to finally say something of value. Okay. Helpful advice for Craig Simons. Show review number 3 or 4. I guess show number 3 or 4. Yeah, show review. Okay, it's my Craig Simons show review show number 3 or 4. There's a podcaster I used to listen to who would always, pretty much every episode, be like, which episode number is this? Every time. Who gives a fuck? He would always say that. Which episode number is this? Who gives a shit? And it's like, you don't even need to say it then, really. Just put the number in the title and be done with it. You don't need to do this whole song and dance every time at the beginning of the show. He would always do the song and dance, not knowing the show number. Okay. So, the scenario is you walk out on stage for part 2 of your show, and there's a heckler in the audience who yells, "Fuck off!" And then you say, "Alright then, bye." And you walk right back off stage and you run out of the building at top speed and you run all the way back to your mansion and you shut the door and you lock the door behind you and you remove the SIM card from your phone so no one can contact you, and you dive into your bed and pull the blanket over your head, and you start screaming and crying into your pillow for hours. Okay, so that's the scenario. That is the story of what probably ended up happening at whichever show, perhaps the final of, I think there were 3 shows in Nottingham. Perhaps that was the final show he did in Nottingham where that situation happened, and I might be making some of that up, but the beginning part about the heckler and what he said and then walking off stage and leaving everyone with only half a show, that part is true. So the rest is speculation, perhaps. But the main concern here is, how do we avoid that scenario? Or how, I suppose you can't avoid it because it already happened. And you can't really like recreate that again. That would be too specific. So how can we give advice? So perhaps it could be utilized in some way for the future, but also how could I have changed that story so it didn't have to go so incredibly terribly in that situation? What could I have said to the heckler instead of, all right then, bye, and then running out of the building? Did he not? Oh my God! I just realized that's so funny. He was wearing that sweatsuit, like one of those colorful sweatsuits he had. That's hilarious. He's probably wearing sneakers too. He's probably wearing sneakers with a colorful sweatsuit, so he could literally just race out of the building very comfortably, you know. Wow, that is actually the perfect thing to wear. Like, he was wearing the perfect outfit to do that. Maybe that's why he did it so easily, is because he was dressed for it, you know. Like, he could just race right out of there very easily. He probably did just run out of the building because he had the perfect outfit on already. He was already dressed for running. So actually, it makes complete sense why he did that. He just wanted to go for a run back to his mansion. Anyway, so, but let's say he perhaps would have preferred to not have run out the building. What could I say to avoid running out of the building? Well, I'd probably mention the fact the heckler's telling me to fuck off when I just walked back on stage. So there was, like, you know, probably some money the heckler paid for the ticket, right? And the heckler decided to attend this show. And the heckler could have, like, spent the money or done anything else. And even if the heckler didn't pay for the ticket, the heckler still decided to show up. So why did the heckler even want to come to this show in the first place? Why did the heckler sit through the first part without yelling fuck off? And more importantly, wait until after the first part of the show and the intermission, after going to the trouble of attending the show in the first place. And then after the intermission, the first thing the heckler yells out for part 2 of this show is fuck off. So I would question the logic of such a request. Like, why wouldn't you just leave? Like, you literally sat through. That's the funny thing, is the heckler chose to sit through the intermission and then yell fuck off when he was like waiting. He was waiting after Craig Simons got back on stage. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just leave? Like, you had the perfect opportunity to draw no attention to yourself. You could have easily left during the intermission and never come back, and no one would have been the wiser, you know. And you chose instead to request that he leave as soon as he got back on stage. The logic of that is incredibly bizarre. So I would question the heckler's logic, probably. I would make it a whole interrogation based around the logic of that behavior and request. Probably because I'm that kind of person. So this is just a me thing. I love questioning people's logic. You can probably tell. I love questioning people in general. You can probably tell. But I do wonder if any thought went into that whatsoever. Why would you wait until after? Like, you literally had the perfect chance to leave. Why did you wait until he came back on stage and then you decided to yell for him to leave? Like, why would you wait for that moment? It just shows a complete lack of thought. What else? What else could I say? I mean, just that line of questioning would be probably my go-to. That's just where I am with it. If it were me, that's what I would do. I would question the logic of the request. Like, you're here, you're sitting in your seat. I'm here to perform for you. You came to my show. What's going to happen if I leave? There will be no more show and it's over. Is that what you want? Why wouldn't you yell something to engage with me? Because if you're just telling me to fuck off, then it's over. And since we know hecklers yell things out because they want the comedian to pay attention to them, why would you yell at me like the one thing that might make me not pay attention to you because you're telling me to leave? So that's like the one thing that you shouldn't do, because if you want my attention, that's the worst possible thing to say. Because now I'm just gonna leave and you will have no attention and no show. Show's over, zero attention. And now, like, furthermore, I would say, and of course, if I leave as you request, the entire audience is going to turn against you and come after you. And is that what you really want? Do you really want to risk a beating? Because it could happen. You know, people are crazy. What if they beat you up? Because you made me leave and the second half of the show is now canceled. So there's so much to attack there, so much to interrogate with that one simple 2-word request. It's such a simple little request, but there's so much wrong with it. There's so much to interrogate, you know. You could get into it for quite a while. You could go down the list of reasons why it makes no sense. I'm just saying, it's like, you would think it's a very brain dead thing to say. There's really nothing to it. It's literally 2 words. Maybe some drunken asshole did it, you know? And you don't really want to talk to a drunken asshole. But if you look a little deeper and you think about it for a moment, there's really a lot to say about it. Which is incredible, right? It's just 2 little words. It seems like some random, completely thoughtless bullshit, rude yelling with no point to it. But if it were me, maybe it's just the power of my brain, my superior ADHD brain, that overthinks everything and can't stop talking and constantly loops around these thoughts over and over again and is constantly interrupting itself with new thoughts and ideas and jumping around all over the place and rambling on and on at all times for hours on end. Can't stop talking, can't stop thinking, sometimes can't even stop writing. Sometimes I write a lot, and it's like a compulsion I have. But I get really caught up in thoughts and ideas all the time. And that would be one of those situations where the power of my ADHD brain could be put to excellent use. Because the thing is, I think my reactions to people are unusual, perhaps, in the sense that I like exploring ideas. I like exploring societal norms and values. I like exploring psychology and sociology. I like exploring why things happen. Why do people do what they do? Why do they think and feel what they think and feel? Why are people the way they are? And I question everything all the time because I have a strangely scientific mindset. I like to interrogate ideas and explore things and explore people's minds and motivations. And I would be so curious as to the logic behind yelling out "fuck off" after you sat through not only the first half of the show, but also the intermission, waited specifically for me to walk back on stage, and then you just immediately want me to leave again. So the logic of that is quite hilarious. Plus the whole, you may or may not have paid for the ticket. You took the effort to attend the show. I mean, what were you expecting? Is it disappointing to you what's been happening so far? Why do you want me to fuck off? Why did you wait for after the intermission? Why didn't you just leave? What do you think my reaction should be? What were you expecting me to do or say to that? You know, so many different questions to go down. So many different routes. I think it's the power of ADHD plus my double espresso that I just drank from McDonald's that allows me to see all these pathways. And wow, it just really fires me up. Nothing like a good idea engagement process. That's the thing. My reactions are strange because I don't act very quickly or easily. I'm a thinker. I just constantly ruminate over everything. My instinct is to think. My instinct is not to act. Most of the time I'm doing fuck all except just constantly thinking. My brain is never off. And I just think constantly and obsess over things and fixate on things. So I have a pause. I don't have an immediate reaction to anything. I always have a blank moment of nothingness, and then I start thinking about what I should do or say or how I feel. It's never just me immediately performing some sort of action as a reaction to something. So usually I will think carefully about everything more than I'll act. I definitely overthink. I guess that's the root, is I'm an overthinker rather than an actor. So for me, I would be overthinking that statement to death. I would beat that statement to death. Or a request, I suppose. It's not a question. So I was thinking, what is the possibility besides a question? It's not a question, so I thought statement. But it's not really a statement. So I guess there's the third option of request. Because it wasn't a statement or a question. You could say it's a request. So to the request to fuck off, I would just have so much to say and interrogate with that it could take, say, maybe at least 20 minutes to get through it all. You know, I would just be trapping that heckler in an absolute prison, an interrogation cell for like 20 plus minutes with all the things I have to say in response, right? And then maybe I could walk off stage, because at that point it's been long enough already. You know, if I really want to leave at that point, I could, you could do, it would be kind of funny at that point. Like, you know what's the problem with the way you did it, Craig? Okay? The problem with what you did, your decision, was problematic because it wasn't funny, and it could have been, but you fucked it up by actually just leaving and never coming back. It would have been funny, and this is a classic comedy thing that people do, is they pretend to leave. Your massive gaping error was you actually left, you decided to just actually leave. You weren't supposed to actually leave, dude. You were supposed to pretend to leave and then have like a funny little walking back on stage moment, and then everybody would cheer and applaud, as they always do, because they love you so much, quote unquote love, which isn't real in any sense. It's just drugs. Even if you actually have some sort of like idea of love, it's drugs. There's a drug cocktail, and even with mothers and babies and so forth, it's drugs. It's pure drugs. It's biology. It's complete bullshit. You get addicted to your children, to people in general. That's what it is. Love is really a drug addiction. When you reduce it to its core value and meaning. Love is a drug addiction. And this is no fucking joke, it's science, okay? So argue with the wall, or argue with, like, the concept of science, I guess, because science tells us what it is, and it is a drug cocktail. It's a drug addiction. So, like, the feeling of love, that's a drug cocktail. Our brain manufactures the idea of love, that's a drug addiction. That's why you go through withdrawal when you break up with someone and you think you're gonna die or something, unless you get to come back to them magically. It's withdrawal from your drug addiction, because you were addicted to the person. You became addicted to a person and they're gone, and you go through withdrawal. Tell me I'm wrong, bitch, okay? Like I said, argue with the wall. There's no wall here. I don't know what you're gonna do. Honestly, look into the sun, argue with the sun. I think it's good for you to look in the sun, right? Look into the sun and argue with the sun. Okay, so back to what I was saying before that. The audience would absolutely love, quote unquote, it. And be so happy, and they think you're a fucking genius. Because you pretended to leave. I don't think they thought you were a genius because you actually left. I think they probably had some negative thoughts about it. You really fucked up by actually leaving. Then it's not funny. And I thought you knew about comedy. I thought you were like really good at comedy. I thought you were like a professional comedian. So I don't know why you thought it would be funny to actually leave. But... And I'm not, like, I've never done 1 second of stand-up comedy. Somehow I know comedy better than you do, though, in that instance, because obviously, if it were me, even though I've never done it before, I feel like I would do a better job than you, because I wouldn't actually leave the building and just walk off, and the entire second half of the show was canceled because you just left. You can't really do the show without the guy. Like, if there's no guy, then what would you even do? Like, just play random music? Like, it doesn't work, right? It's a stand-up comedy show. Stand-up comedy, there's just a guy on stage. Like, that's how it works, right? Like, I don't know. I've never done it. I'm pretty sure there's someone on stage telling jokes, and that's what stand-up comedy is supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be someone leaves, and then there's no one on the stage, and it's just silence. Like, that's not really part of it, right? Like, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, like, what I would have done is I would have come back after I left and be like, you know, that kind of vibe. Like, yeah, I'm so funny, I pretended to leave. You know, it's like very hilarious of me. And everyone would absolutely die laughing. It'd be so hilarious. But you actually left. I don't think you're supposed to actually leave. Did you think that's how it worked with the fake leaving? Is that, like, you can just actually leave? Did you think that you could just actually leave? Like, do you think people, when they do that, they actually leave? Maybe that's what you thought. I don't know. Like, I don't know your experience with leaving, but I'm pretty sure, like, when most people do it, like, if you actually leave, then it becomes not funny and not a joke. Anyway, it's like, how do you make that funny or a joke? I don't think it's possible. So, don't leave. Actually, you have to come back. That would be another thing. Like, my advice, don't actually leave. That's important. I think that's, like, the most important part, is, like, you can't actually leave. Like, you're not supposed to actually leave. You have to come back, okay? So, for me, my advice to improve that situation for next time, don't actually leave. Step 1, don't actually leave. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Like, the most important thing. Don't actually leave. You have to come back, right? The timing, you could, like, stretch it to, like, maybe a few minutes. Just get them all scared. Maybe give the heckler a real big spook, and then everyone could, like, beat him up while you're gone. You know, if that's what you were looking for, a little light violence toward the heckler because you hate them and want them to die, but you'll accept a little light abuse instead by the audience, you know? Like, the audience is all around the heckler, right? Like, they have, if you give them, like, a few minutes, they could give a little light beat down in that time, right? So give them a chance. You could give the audience a chance for some kind of beating of the heckler, if that's what you were looking for. Like, you don't have to actually leave for that to happen. You could give them a few minutes. And upon which you return. Like, a few minutes, I'm not saying, like, 5+ minutes. Like, you can't wait, like, over 5 minutes. Because you just had an intermission. I don't think it makes sense to make people wait that long after you just had an intermission. I think you need to come back out, like, under 5 minutes. Just a few minutes at most. You come back out, say something hilarious. Just kidding! I don't know. Like, you're the professional, dude. Like, you have to work some of it out yourself, I think. I'm just like an amateur. I don't know nothing. I don't know shit. The only thing I know that you don't seem to know is that you can't actually leave, which is good that I'm here telling you now. So you remember for next time, at least I'm here to say now, don't actually leave. That part is, like, number 1. After that, nothing is nearly as important. Like, what you actually do or say after that, not that important compared to just not leaving the actual building and everyone's just sitting there wondering what the fuck just happened, etc. You have to come back within a few minutes. And after you come back within a few minutes, hopefully in that time you'll have come up with something actually funny to say, instead of just, all right then, bye, and then just running away out of the building with your sweatsuit and sneakers. Very well dressed for the occasion, admittedly. Maybe that's why you thought it would be funny, because like, you're wearing a running outfit. and like you're dressed to run away from the audience out of the building and never come back. It's like Runaway Bride vibes or something, maybe, is what you had in mind. But like, it doesn't work because it just, well, here, how can I explain this? I don't really know how to explain it, but like, think about like if you went to a concert and like halfway through the show, someone yelled at the band, "Fuck off!" And then the band were just like, okay. And they just stopped playing and they just walked off stage and the show was over. Like, how would you feel in that situation? Could you in any scenario find that to be remotely hilarious? Like, is there any situation in which someone just leaving and never coming back would make you laugh and think that was like a great ending to a show? Like, what kind of show, if you did that, would be like a great ending for that show? Maybe there is something, I don't know. It's like, is there a show where that would be like super funny, like, and people would appreciate that kind of ending where just abruptly halfway through the show, the performer or performers just run out of the building and the show is over? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying, like, it seems very unlikely there's ever a situation in which you could make that hilarious and acceptable to do. I'm not saying it's impossible. Maybe you could come up with a scenario. I don't know. But I'm just saying, fake leaving is the way to go. That's the move. You could have really turned that into some sort of comedic moment. Like, you know, like hecklers could be so wild and just thoughtlessly yell things out that make no sense, and you like fake leaving for a few minutes would put a real scare into people, and then you come back and they're like so relieved and they just like, they're so excited to see you again, and you just turn it into a whole big moment. It's like one of those big stories you can tell. You just like running off and never coming back. That's a big story you can tell, but probably not in a good way. It's probably not like one of those stories where like Seth Meyers is interviewing you, and like you're just saying, yeah, like one of these shows I did, someone yelled at me to fuck off, like as soon as I walked back on stage after the intermission, and I was like, all right then, bye, and then I just like left the building and the entire second half of the show was canceled. I feel like that's not like a cute, funny story you can tell in any interview scenario, even like a deep, meaningful, genuine interview, if you ever did one of those in your life. It still, like, it wouldn't look very good for you. Like, that would be like, bro, what is wrong with this guy, you know? They'd probably be like, okay, so like, how long have you been in therapy for? Because, bro, like, what do you do? I thought you had your shit together, dude. And it would turn into like a really awkward situation, you know? Like, because you had me questioning, how long have you been in therapy? Why is your therapist so bad at their job? Because I feel like they can't be good at their job if that's going on, even now. I feel like that's like not something that should be still happening. Because I'm just guessing it's been happening for quite a few years at this point. Like if you're doing it now after all the therapy, I'm just guessing maybe it even happened way more times, like more frequently and so forth, previously in previous years, perhaps pre-therapy days even. So, thinking about all that, very interesting. But I'm just saying, probably an uncomfortable interview scenario. Not the kind of story you would really be excited to tell anyone, like in general. It just doesn't look good. If you come back, it's funny, everyone laughed, they loved it. Great story. Great moment Like, that's like a real iconic heckler's moment for the Heckler's Welcome Show. See, I turned it into something iconic. That was where you fucked up. Big time. Did you have diarrhea or something? Did you have like really bad diarrhea? Or you're just like holding it in? There's like a diarrhea story. Who told a diarrhea story? Which, long time ago, I was listening to some comedian talk about, I think it was like early in their career, they had a diarrhea moment. Was it Patton Oswalt, maybe? I think it was actually Patton Oswalt. Oh my God, I actually remembered. Oh my God. Patton Oswalt. I think he, early on in his career, had diarrhea and it was really bad. Or was he puking, maybe? Maybe it was both, actually. He was like holding it together, but he eventually just couldn't keep holding it. He maybe had to run off stage. I have a bad memory, though. It's at 2%. Okay. We're done, dude. Like, it's over. This time, it's really happening. It's at 2%. I'm not joking at all. Anyway, I guess it's not, I mean, like, I can't really say anything else because the battery's gonna die. But I think I gave some good tips, some good alternate actions, alternate routes to take there. Yeah, pretty interesting situation, though. It really does make me question the whole therapy thing, though. Like, honestly, like, what kind of fucking therapist do you have, bro? Like, truly, I could do a better job for free. I'm offering my services free of charge. 1 trial session for free. But then I will make you pay because you're a millionaire and I'm poor, so you can't have everything, dude. You can't have it all. But trial, you know, fair enough. I'm probably not very good, but for free, give it a try. Everyone likes free stuff, right? Like, even millionaires like free stuff, don't they? So I feel like it's enticing. It's an enticing offer, perhaps. And plus, I've never given anyone therapy before, so it would be interesting to see how it goes. I do have my peer support training. Interestingly enough, I've never used it officially, but I do have official peer support training by an organization. Oh, I really have to go now. Oh shit, my bad. Let me know. Contact me.